Hey everyone, me Kevin here with an update for you on the next round of stimulus and stimulus checks. Yesterday I brought to you a complete summary on everything through yesterday with the next rounds of stimulus, and today I have two new pieces of information. But check this out. This is Thor's hammer, and check out what it says on the side. It says make sure to get your life insurance in the link down below and your 2 free stocks with Webull. If you deposit $100 with the stock trading platform Webull, you get 2 free stocks, and then you could smash the like button because you've got life insurance and 2 free stocks. All right, let's keep moving on. So here we go. 2 updates from the White House today, including updates from Larry Kudlow, which was just recorded and released this morning on June 14th, and then a small update from Peter Navarro. Let's go ahead and start with Peter Navarro. Peter Navarro mentioned that the White House is actually targeting a stimulus package that will be, quote, at least $2 trillion. There's been some talk from Republicans that the next round of stimulus will be $1 trillion, and from Democrats, they're looking for a $3 trillion HEROES Act. And this is very interesting because we're now hearing at least $2 trillion. That's good. That means this HEROES Act is starting to look more and more likely, which if you watch that video that I broke down yesterday, I do believe we're much more likely to see a revision to the HEROES Act rather than a completely new plan and a completely new bill. It would be, in my opinion, a very politically bad move to just trash the current bill. You could revise it, add some pages to the end of the 1,800-page bill. My POV, obviously there's a lot to be debated, but I think that's easier than just starting over. Things have gone slow enough. But anyway, Trump has mentioned many times, and so has Larry Kudlow, that they want to see manufacturing come back to America and punish those companies who offshore jobs. And as a way to sort of bring more employment to America, they figure, well, let's see if we can invest in manufacturing and sort of incentivize corporations to come back to America. This is going to be a big part of our election. Keep that in mind. So sort of separate from even stimulus here, keep this in mind. You've got Joe Biden, who's interested in raising the corporate tax rate, which encourages companies to offshore jobs. And Donald Trump is suggesting incentives to onshore jobs. So this is a difference. I'm not telling you which one's better, right? Because one leads to higher product costs, one leads to more jobs in America. So it's kind of like, okay, what's better? But look at that distinction and then decide for yourself which one you think is better. Now, Donald Trump is pushing for this as a way to bring more employment to America, and on timing of this potential deal, it's interesting that Mr. Navarro reiterates that it needs to be done before the August recess for, quote, the sake of American workers and small businesses now in pain, which is kind of weird because it seems like now all of a sudden they're in a hurry, but realistically their version of hurry is bail out businesses first and then kind of leave the individuals like us hanging for a few months, it feels like, because we're all kind of waiting for some clarity on what's gonna happen next. The unemployment expires on July 31st. We don't know if there's gonna be a second round of stimulus, so much uncertainty, right? It's like, it's nice to see some urgency. I mean, if this is their theme, but hey, at least we're getting these optimistic indications that, okay, yes, on next round of stimulus. Now we're seeing potential for at least $2 trillion. That's good. Bring jobs back to America. In fact, they're using the quote and the theme, buy American, hire American, which kind of actually aligns. Oh, this is interesting. Think about this. That actually aligns with Donald Trump's idea of incentivizing us to go on, trips throughout the United States, like vacations into restaurants within the United States. Now, obviously, we need money to do that. So think about this, and this is just me speculating, but if you put the pieces of the puzzle together, wait a minute, you have Donald Trump saying, I want to incentivize, people to buy American, hire American. He said that. He has said he wants to potentially consider tax deductions for entertainment, travel, and restaurants. Okay, we got that. And then think about it. If you give people money, and then deductions and incentives to do exactly that, buy American, hire American, this kind of all starts coming together as a broader American plan to sort of boost the economy. It's like the pieces of the puzzle are really coming together here. Because then you could even add to that the payroll tax deduction to make it, basically employees will get paid more, or if there's some kind of a payroll tax holiday, people will be able to take home more money working for those American manufacturers. So this is interesting. I'm kind of starting to see the puzzle come together. But now Peter Navarro did go on to say that, quote, the only way to fully rebuild the economy in the face of these headwinds is to significantly strengthen and expand our manufacturing base. So very interesting. It does seem like that something like that is more of a longer term plan, and maybe the shorter term plan is that payroll tax holiday, the deductions for travel, entertainment, leisure, restaurants. But again, we need money to do that. And it's nice to see that if they're suggesting now a potentially $2 trillion package, then I think more and more the certainty of that $1,200 next round of stimulus payments does go up, especially since it does make sense that they'll probably revise the HEROES Act rather than completely replace it, which we don't see the $1,200 stimulus checks going away if they keep the HEROES Act. All right, and now let's go on to what Larry Kudlow says. Larry Kudlow this morning here on Sunday, June 14th, did clarify that unemployment payments will not stop in August. And what he's referring to is the fact that you still get your state unemployment pay. But he does say that the $600 plus up, that will likely end in July. And they're looking for something they're calling a, quote, reform measure. And that reform measure would be some kind of back to work bonus. We've heard about that many times, where maybe you would get somewhere between $250 to $450 instead of the unemployment boost. And you would get to carry that over as you go back to work. That does sort of, negatively affect people who do still need to be on unemployment, which we did hear the commenter on CNN reply to Larry Kudlow with. And don't worry, whether or not you like CNN, we're focused on what Larry Kudlow is saying, not whether we like CNN or not. But the commenter does ask, well, wait a minute, people do want to go back to work. And that the real issue isn't that we don't want to go back to work, it's that we can't go back to work because all of the jobs aren't back. In fact, we've heard time and time again that a lot of the people who were laid off or furloughed won't actually have a job to go back to. Or if we go back to work, we'll be getting paid even less than what we got when we were there, which is not very good. Now, to this, Larry Kudlow does say that, yeah, you know what, that is a fair point. Unfortunately, he kind of goes in this direction of doubling down onto, we're still going to focus on our back to work method because he believes that ultimately incentives do matter, and they are seeing evidence of this $600 plus up motivating people not to go back to work. Unfortunately, that's not very good news for the extension of the $600 plus up, but we do have good news today in the form of this $2+ trillion package, and it's just not clear what's going to be in it. My real hope is if they're going to get rid of the $600 plus up and they do some kind of back to work bonus, fine, but maybe instead of a $1,200 stimulus check, bump the size of that up a little bit. The stimulus check out of the entire last CARES Act didn't make up that large of a percentage, somewhere maybe around 10% of the cost of the last package. And so maybe it's time they spent a little bit more money on us instead of just bailing out corporate America. He does go on then to say that he still sees this good chance of a V-shaped recovery. In fact, he said we have a, quote, very good chance at a V-shaped recovery. He personally thinks we're going to see big retail numbers coming. The Apple Mobility Index is way up. New business applications are skyrocketing. Hey, maybe some of y'all are doing the 3D Matterport businesses that we've been talking about for months. That's awesome if a lot of y'all are doing that. But let's try to now put these pieces of the puzzle together here for a Sunday update. To me, this is great news. So we've got certainty now on the next stimulus package. We believe the next stimulus package is going to be some form of the HEROES Act. We believe now that it's going to approach probably that $2 to $3 trillion figure. Because remember, the White House just said at least $2 trillion. That's very, very good. And we know that Donald Trump wants to incentivize and give workers money and companies money, essentially. How exactly that's done, we're not sure. And in order for some of us to be able to actually use some of the other benefits, I do imagine Donald Trump's support would be behind some additional stimulus checks. So fascinating update of today. Two very good pieces of information that really kind of put these pieces of the puzzle together for us. If you like this kind of information, make sure to subscribe. More than happy to try to build the puzzle out for you as it continues to develop. In the meantime, make sure to know that you're also subscribing for content on stocks and real estate investing, so that way we can help you make money. And by we, I guess I mean me. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Make sure to get your 2 free stocks in the link down below. Deposit $100 and get your life insurance. Also, check out Lauren's vlog. All right, thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.